The original Mario vs. Donkey Kong came out 20 years ago. Now we finally got a remake. Is it as good as the original? Let's find out.
Here we go!
If you've never played a Mario vs. Donkey Kong game, it's real simple. It's a puzzle platformer. You play as Mario, you jump across obstacles, enemies, you'll pick up hammers along the way to destroy the enemies. In this game specifically, there's presents you can pick up. There's 3 in each level, and then there's a key. And you have to get the key at the end to open the door. But there's 2 parts to each level. So the first part is about getting the key, and the second part of the level is getting the mini Mario toy. If you collect all 3 presents in a level, you'll get a star. Now, when you beat the game, that would be the end of each level, just getting a star. But once you beat the game, you unlock Time Attack. And you unlock a medallion for beating the Time Attack. So just beating it as quick as possible. So there's a star to earn for each level and a medallion. But you don't have to worry about the medallion until you beat the game. Once you beat all 6 levels in each world, you'll do a mini Mario level where you basically have to guide them to safety to the little toy box. And you have to collect 3 letters along the way that spell toy. And the amount that you have at the end will be how many hit points you can take or have in the Donkey Kong fight that's up next. So if you only have like 3 mini Marios at the end of the mini Mario level, you only have like 3 hit points for the Donkey Kong fight, I believe. But, you know, the earlier mini Mario toys aren't really that hard. So you should be fine. And, you know, you can always hit the retry button too. You don't lose a life for it or anything. The Donkey Kong boss fights consist of him throwing barrels, or he'll hit switches to stop, and a bunch of Shy Guys will turn into ghosts, or they'll turn back into like a physical toy Shy Guy. Every boss fight is basically just take whatever object you have and throw it at Donkey Kong, and once you hit him 4 times, he'll be defeated. Mario's moveset consists of backflips. He can do his just normal jump. You can do a handstand jump to jump into like a triple jump to get even more height. The handstand walk also deflects falling objects, whether it be during a boss fight, the little trash that falls from the ceiling, or the brick monster that's dropping bricks. So, or even like the birds, if they like try to drop an egg on you, you can actually defend yourself against that so you don't die. Each level consists of you hitting switches to open up different paths, leading to collectibles or just the end of the level itself. There's about 8 to 9 worlds in this game, and 2 of those worlds are new. The World 4 and World 7, I believe. There's like a snow world, and then there's a circus world. I think that's called Mini Merry-Go-Round or something like that. And since they're new, I feel like those are kind of more challenging than the whole rest of the game. Maybe not the snow world, but definitely the World 4. When I first played it, it's kind of tricky. But you always figure it out, you know. There's never a point where I felt like I needed help. It just takes, you know, you take a couple seconds, evaluate the situation, and you're good to go. One thing that I should point out is that a lot of the voice clips were cut. Like the, "You come back here, you big monkey." He doesn't say that anymore, and once you complete each world, he just says like, "Hey, come back here." So it's like the same thing every time. I'm not really sure why they removed those, but not only that, the music. The music in this game, since it's like a remake, you would think it would be just like the original, but like reorchestrated, but it's not. World 3, for instance, it just sounds completely different, and I like how it's like ambient. but I'm not sure why they changed it. Because the original soundtrack was like so good, it's so catchy. And this soundtrack is more like slow paced and has like a different vibe to it. But World 3 for sure, I don't know why they changed it. It's still good. Like I said, it sounds ambient, but the original was just so much better. I don't know why they even bothered giving it a different approach. But in World 4, the circus music, that's like the only world in the game I'm not a fan of. Like the music itself, it's just like, This remake is also way more easier than the original because they remove fall damage. So in the original, you would, if you fell from a big height, you would either die or you would just get stunned for a bit. Now, you can still get stunned on here if you fall from a big height, but you just you can't die from fall damage anymore. So this makes the game really easy. Also, like I mentioned earlier, there's no point system. So killing all the enemies in a level, being as quick as possible, and getting all the presents, it doesn't matter anymore. What just matters is getting all the presents, you know? So it's just an easier game overall, but it's not a bad thing. This game actually has a fake final boss ending, so when you beat the game the first time, they'll leave you on a cliffhanger, and then you'll unlock what they call like plus each world, like jungle plus whatever plus, and so you gotta beat the whole game again, but with new levels. But these levels are based around the Mini Mario toy, so like you're not going for a key. If I remember correctly, you're just trying to get to the Mini Mario toy. So these levels are a lot quicker, but they're still brand new levels. There's also expert levels you can play once you beat the game. There's about 16 total, and I beat them all, but I thought there would have been more after that. But 16 is perfectly fine, because this game already has a lot of content. So I'm glad they added this as a new addition as well. Time attack, you just beat the level as quick as possible, try to get a new high score. Like I mentioned earlier, each level has a star, and that's just from beating the level with all the collectibles. And then you'll get a medallion, like a circle, on each level for beating the time attack version. Time trial, time attack. And that's like 137 levels or something like that. So that's a lot of stuff to get done in this game, you know. It has a lot of content, you know, so that's good. Overall, I love this remake. You know, I love the original. It is one of my favorite games from my childhood, and I'm glad they did a remake. Despite the music being like slightly different, but it still sounds good. Besides that, besides the voice clips being missing, you know, they added some new voice clips from Mario. That's fine. So besides those two things and the game being a little easier, it's a great remake, and for $50 I totally think it's worth it. So yeah, and if you like the original, definitely give this one a try. And I'll see you next time. Goodbye.